Hello, and welcome to the English with Pretty podcast. I'm here today with a guest called Ellena, an expert in the history and evolution of the English language. And we're both excited to bring you a rich and intriguing conversation that we hope you'll find fascinating. So, today we will be discussing the evolution of the English language, how it has transformed over time into the complex and diverse language that we know today. So, Ellena, welcome to the show.
Hi, Pretty. Thanks for having me on the show. It's great to be here, and I'm really looking forward to our conversation today. And that's right. Today, we are going to talk about the evolution of the English language. The English language has come a long way since its early beginnings, and it's fascinating to see how it has changed over time.
Absolutely, Ellena. The English language is a beautiful and complex language, and it's really interesting to know how it has evolved from Old English to the modern form of English that we speak today.
Let's start with the earliest form of English, Old English. Old English was spoken from the 5th century until the 11th century and was heavily influenced by Germanic languages.
That's right. Old English was a very different language than what we speak today. It had many grammatical cases and the word order was quite different. However, many of the words we use today have their roots in Old English.
Yes, that's correct. In fact, about 60% of the words in modern English have their roots in Old English.
That's incredible. The evolution of the English language didn't stop with Old English. The language continued to change with the influence of other languages too, such as Latin and French.
Yeah, in the 11th century, the Normans invaded England and their language, Old French, had a significant impact on the English language. Many words from Old French were adopted into English, such as beef and pork.
Right, Ellena. The English language continued to evolve through the Middle English period, which lasted from the 11th century to the 15th century. During this time, English began to take on more of the characteristics we see in modern English today.
Absolutely. One of the most significant developments during the Middle English period was the emergence of the printing press. This invention led to a standardization of the English language, as printed materials became more widely available.
Yeah, the printing press allowed for the dissemination of knowledge, and it helped to establish a standard form of the English language. This helped to bridge the gap between the different regional dialects and variations of the language.
The modern English period began in the 15th century and is the form of English that we speak today. During this time, English continued to evolve, and many words from other languages were adopted into the language.
Yes, Ellena. Modern English has borrowed words from a variety of languages, such as Greek, Spanish, and Italian. This borrowing has helped to enrich the English language and make it more diverse.
Absolutely. Today, English is the most widely spoken language in the world, and it continues to evolve with new words and phrases being added every year.
That's right. The English language is a living, breathing entity that continues to change and adapt. It's fascinating to see how it has evolved over time and to think about where it might go in the future.
In conclusion, English is a complex and fascinating language that has undergone many changes over time. From its roots in Old English to its current status as the world's most widely spoken language, English has evolved and adapted to the changing world around it.
Well, that's all for today. We hope you enjoyed our discussion about the evolution of the English language. And I want to say a big thank you to our guest, Ellena, for joining us. And of course, thanks to all of you, our listeners, for tuning in.
Thank you so much for having me on the show today. It's been a real pleasure to share my perspective on this topic. I really appreciate the opportunity to connect with your audience. Thanks again for having me.
So until next time, stay curious and keep learning.